If this touched your soul, don't scroll, like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. Her words haunt the quiet moments, a warning wrapped in love. I'm caught between her truth and my hope, both impossible to deny. She said, "You're a shadow I chase." Her voice trembled with a secret that broke the silence between us. What my mother said is a riddle carved deep into my bones. She painted you with colors I never saw, dark, wild, and restless. Her whisper is a thread pulling me from the warmth you gave. She said some love is a story best left unread. The haunting feels like footsteps behind me, close but always unseen. What she revealed sits heavy, a stone in the pool of my heart. Her words broke through my denial, like shards of broken glass. She said you wear kindness like a mask, hiding storms beneath. The secret she shared trembles on my lips, begging to be spoken. My mother's warning is a shadow I carry long after she's gone. She told me you're a question I wasn't meant to answer. What she said is a ghost weaving through the threads of our past. Her voice was a tremor, shaking the ground beneath my certainty. She warned me, some love is a wound that never truly heals. The haunting she left lingers, a whisper I cannot escape. She said you're a storm I thought I could weather, but I was wrong. What my mother said echoes, a bell tolling in my restless mind. Her words are a fragile warning, breaking under the weight of truth. She said love can be a beautiful lie I am too blind to see. The secret in her voice carved silence between the words we said. My mother's words are a shadow, long and cold, stretching inside me. She spoke of a past I never met, but that still shapes us both. What she said feels like a locked door I don't want to open. Her warning is a song played softly, haunting the edges of my soul. She said, "You hide the storms behind a smile, and I'm drowning in the calm." The haunting is a pulse beneath my skin, constant and relentless. My mother's words slip into my dreams, where truth and fear entwine. She said you're a secret kept in shadows I wasn't ready to see. What she said breaks the stillness, a whisper I can't ignore. Her voice carries a warning, wrapped in love's softest. She said, love can be a trap that feels like home until it isn't. The secret she shared is a ghost walking beside me in daylight. My mother's words are a weight I carry with trembling hands. She spoke of you like a riddle wrapped in heartbreak and hope. What she said lingers like smoke, visible only when I close my eyes. Her warning is a quiet thunder rolling through my fragile faith. She said, you're a story I'm not ready to read, but can't forget. The haunting feels like a cold wind brushing my skin at midnight. My mother's words are a shadow threading through the fabric of us. She said some truths are meant to haunt, not to heal. What she revealed is a weight pressing down on my fragile heart. Her voice was a tremor in the stillness, shaking my illusions. She said love sometimes hides monsters behind familiar faces. The secret she shared is a ghost I carry in silent moments. My mother's warning feels like a knot tightening around my trust. She spoke of storms beneath your calm. Thunder I refuse to hear. What she said is a shadow I can't outrun, no matter how far. Her words are a wound hidden beneath the surface, raw and real. She said, you're a question with no answer. A door left ajar. The haunting is a melody stuck on repeat, impossible to forget. My mother's voice is a ghost that lingers long after the night fades. She warned me of a love that feels like drowning without water. Her words echo truths I never wanted, but now must carry. She said, your love is a secret storm, fierce and impossible to tame. The haunting hinted at feels like a knife, sharp and unspoken. My mother's whispers unravel the tapestry I wove around your smile. Something about you unsettles the quiet sanctuary of my mother's heart. Her words echo warnings wrapped in love, but piercing as shattered glass. She said you're the silence after a storm, dangerous and unpredictable. What my mother said is a shadow stitched into the fabric of my dreams. Last night, her voice cracked, a broken melody, warning of what I've ignored. She spoke of secrets between you two, words heavy with unspoken pain. Her gaze bored into me. Beware, it said, of what you cannot see. The weight of her words drags me to a night where truth hides in darkness. She said love, like yours, can be a mirror, breaking, reflecting shards of pain. What my mother said tastes like ash on my tongue, bitter and real. There's a story my mother holds tight about you, and it breaks me. Her voice trembled, became a hymn of doubt I cannot silence. She said the truth about you sleeps in shadows where I fear to tread. The secret, she whispered, feels like a shadow curling beneath my skin. My mother's words are a storm I can't shelter from, no matter how hard I try. She said, your truth is a threadbare cloak, fragile and full of holes. What she said burns like a silent flame, flickering in the darkest corners of my mind. Her voice trembled with grief, as if mourning a love I never fully knew. The warning in her eyes was louder than any scream I could hear. She said, you hold pieces of a past I wasn't meant to touch. The haunting feels like footsteps echoing in an empty house, familiar, yet terrifying. My mother's whisper is a ghostly hand, pulling me away from what I want. She said some stories are written in scars, not words, and yours is one. What she revealed twists through me like cold wind through a cracked window. Her caution is a quiet earthquake, shaking the foundation of my belief. She said your love is a secret song that no one else can hear. Left is a shadow that never quite fades with the dawn. I carry her words like a weight, pressing down on my heart's fragile wings. She said love isn't always a shelter. Sometimes it's the storm itself. The secret in her voice is a key to a door I fear opening. My mother's warning is a riddle I can't solve, but must live with. She said you wear a mask stitched from silence and broken promises. What she said lingers like smoke, twisting and curling inside my soul. Her voice was a tremor that shattered the fragile glass of my hope. She warned me love could be a trap dressed as a blessing. The haunting feels like a cold breath on my neck in the dead of night. She said your heart carries storms that no calm can ever tame. The secret she shared is a ghost I carry in the quiet moments. My mother's words are a shadow, trailing me through every bright day. She said, love is a battlefield where not all wounds are visible. Her warning is a silent scream echoing in the hollow spaces of my soul. What she said is a knife twisting in the depths of my unspoken fears. The haunting grows louder each time I close my eyes to sleep. She said your truth is a flame I'm both drawn to and afraid of. My mother's whisper is a ghost song I can't stop hearing. She said, love isn't always a dance. It can be a war we lose. The secret in her words is a shadow that darkens my brightest dreams. What she said is a riddle wrapped in heartbreak and fragile hope. Her voice is a storm warning I can't ignore, no matter how I try. She said your love might be a poison I swallow willingly. The haunting feels like a wound that bleeds beneath my calm facade. She whispered a truth that feels like a slow, inevitable unraveling. My mother's words are a shadow trail I follow with trembling feet. She said some loves are ghosts, beautiful but doomed to disappear. What she said is a weight pressing down on the fragile wings of my heart. Her warning is a whisper in the dark louder than any daylight truth. She said, your heart hides secrets I'm not ready to understand. The haunting is a silent pulse I carry beneath my skin. My mother's voice is a ghost I can't quiet, no matter how hard I try. She said love can be a labyrinth where the exit is lost to time. What she said lingers like a shadow stretching across my soul. Her words are a broken melody. I replay in the quiet of night. She said, "Your love is a storm I thought I could weather alone." The secret she shared is a ghost walking beside me in daylight. My mother's warning feels like a knot tightening around my trust. She spoke of storms beneath your calm, thunder I refuse to hear. What she said is a shadow I can't outrun. No matter. Her words are a wound hidden beneath the surface, raw and real. She said you're a question with no answer. A door left ajar. The haunting is a melody stuck on repeat, impossible to forget. My mother's voices. A ghost that lingers long after the night fades. She warned me of a love that feels like drowning without water. Her words echo truths I never wanted, but now must carry. She said, your love is a secret storm, fierce and impossible to tame. The haunting her words cast is a veil over everything I believed. What she said is a wound, hidden but bleeding, raw and real. She whispered a truth that shakes the roots of my desire. My mother's words are a shadow trail leading me away from you. She said love's betrayal wears many faces, some too familiar to forget. Her warning is a shadow draping over the light I wanted to see in you. She spoke of a past I never knew, one where you wear different faces. My mother's voice is a ghost I cannot quiet, echoing in empty rooms. She said love sometimes demands a sacrifice, but I don't know what I've lost. Her warning is a quiet scream, louder than any shout I could hear. I carry her words like a wound, tender and bleeding beneath my skin. She is more than she shows, my mother said, and less than you hope. My dear, my mother's words slipped like shadows. Something about you that unsettled her soul. She whispered your name with a tremor, as if warning me of a hidden storm. Last night, my mother spoke in riddles, her voice carrying secrets I dare not forget. She said you carry a darkness behind your smile, a silence I never heard. What she said unsettles the quiet corners of my heart, where truth hides. My mother's eyes didn't lie. She saw something in you that I refused to see. Her words linger like smoke curling around my mind, choking me with doubt. She warned me, love is not always light. Sometimes it burns with unseen fire. The haunting began with a sigh, my mother's, voice trembling under the weight of memory. She said your name, and the room grew colder, as if shadows followed her breath. What did she see behind your eyes? I'm afraid to ask, afraid to know. She said, you're a ghost in my future, haunting the walls I built for us. Hinted it feels like a knife, sharp and unspoken. My mother's whispers. Unravel the tapestry I wove around your smile. Something about you unsettles the quiet sanctuary of my mother's heart. Her words echo, warnings wrapped in love, but piercing as shattered glass. She said you're the silence after a storm, dangerous and unpredictable. What my mother said is a shadow stitched into the fabric of my dreams. Last night, her voice cracked, a broken melody warning of what I've ignored. She spoke of secrets between you two, words heavy with unspoken pain. Her gaze bore into me. Beware. It said, the weight of her words drags me into a night where truth hides in darkness. She said, love like yours can be a mirror breaking, reflecting shards of pain. What my mother said tastes like ash on my tongue, bitter and real. There's a story my mother holds tight about you, and it breaks me. Her voice trembled. Not all that glitters is yours. Do keep. I feel her warning like a chill beneath my skin, deep and unrelenting. She said you're a storm wrapped in calm, a promise wrapped in threat. My mother's words feel like a prophecy, dark and impossible to ignore. She whispered a secret that makes my heart ache with unfamiliar fear. What she said pulls at the edges of my certainty, unraveling peace. She said your love might be a labyrinth, beautiful but impossible to escape. The haunting grows louder, Each time I replay her voice in silence, "She's not who you think," my mother said, and my world tilted. Her words are a shadow draping over the light I wanted to see in you. She spoke of a past I never knew, one where you wear different faces. My mother's voice is a ghost I cannot quiet, echoing in empty rooms. She said love sometimes demands a sacrifice, but I don't know what I've lost. Her warning is a quiet scream, louder than any shout I could hear. I carry her words like a wound, tender and bleeding beneath my skin. "She's more than she shows," my mother said, "and less than you hope." What she said twists like a vine around my trust, squeezing tight. The weight of her caution is a shadow that darkens my brightest days. My mother's whispers became a hymn of doubt I cannot silence. She said the truth about you sleeps in shadows where I fear to tread. The haunting is a river, slow and steady, carving canyons in my heart. She said your love is a fire that may burn me whole if I'm careless. Her voice was a soft warning, but it shattered my fragile illusions. I replay her words like a broken record, searching for meaning I fear. She told me something about you last night, something I wish I could unhear. Her gaze held a warning that no love can erase what was done before. The secret she shared feels like a ghost, always near, but never seen. She said, "Your eyes hold stories I'm not ready to know yet." What she revealed haunts the corners of my mind, sharp and restless. My mother's words are weight I carry silently, heavy with truth. She spoke of you in a language only my soul seems to understand. Her warning is a shadow, stretching longer with each passing moment. She said love isn't always a sanctuary. Sometimes it's a battlefield. The haunting feels like a pulse beneath my skin, alive, undeniable. What my mother said is a thread unraveling the fabric of my hope. She whispered of storms in your silence. She said your love might be a trap dressed as a blessing. The secret she shared hangs between us, unspoken but loud. I carry her warning like a tattoo beneath my ribs, hidden but permanent. She said your heart wears a mask that I'm too blind to see. Her words haunt me like a message stuck on repeat in a dark room. The weight of her caution presses like a shadow I cannot outrun. She spoke of a darkness behind your light, one I ignore at my peril. What she said is a riddle I cannot solve but cannot forget.